So we're on Facebook Live with Chris Lipscombe. Am I saying that right, Chris?
Yeah, that'll do. I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce it. So Lipscomb's fine, Lipscombe, whatever.
Well, as a presenter, I try and get these things right straight first time, first
Yeah.
shot. Good evening to you, Chris. And how are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not too bad. How's lockdown been for you?
I suppose it's been quite a time. The last 10 months, and obviously a lot of musical stuff has stopped for various reasons. So it's been okay. Like, I think I'm one of those people, like, I'm always okay, but obviously there's a lot of bad things happening, to other people, businesses closing down and all this. So I suppose it's not very good.
That's the other thing, isn't it? It's a shame that the old open mics have stopped because of the social aspect of stuff.
Yeah, open mics, gigs, everything. Yeah, I mean, at the end of last year, I had a lot of things booked in, like a few festival appearances, and then I also play like with a function band, so weddings and all that booked in. And then gradually you saw them. I think it's happened to everyone. They gradually got cancelled. Oh, we might have to put this back by a few months, and it's like, oh, we might have to put it back by a year, and then it's like,
yeah.
Okay, maybe it's never going to happen.
And it is a bit of a letdown as well. So have you used the time productively?
Yeah, one thing that I'm quite pleased about is I managed to finish off an album. So I've released it under the name Falena, which is a band name that I've been using for a while, especially when I write songs and record them like with other people. So there's there's 3 different singers on the album, that kind of thing. And that was at a point where there was still work to be done on it. So like I was quite lucky in that I managed to, work out a way and get people to help me finish it off. And so I managed to do that, even though there's a lot of stuff been shut down and closed down. And it did mean a couple of the tracks where I've been planning to get other musicians involved. In the end, I wasn't able to, or I decided it was going to be, so difficult to try and convince people to get involved, and so on and so forth with everything going on. So I don't know if you saw I think you may have seen the single Brutus and Carinius that I put out. You saw that, didn't you?
That's how I contacted you, yes.
That's what I thought, yeah. So that is a good example. That was actually recorded, although I wrote it about 1 year ago. And then I recorded it over like the summer, in that period where things were relaxed a little bit. And originally my plan had been to have a viola on that track. So there's basically 4 elements on it. There's the bass guitar, which is, this thing, bass guitar. There's vocal, there's like a drum percussion part, and then the 4th thing is there's electric guitar on there. But it was originally meant to be viola, not electric guitar. And then I thought, well, maybe I don't know any viola players, so maybe I'll write it for saxophone. So I did actually originally write it out, I think, in like to be read by E flat instruments. And then I thought, well, you never know like who's going to want to do it, whether they're going to want to come out to record anywhere or anything like that. So I thought, what, I'll just do it I'll just cover it on guitar and leave it at that. So yeah.
And what's that like, writing for saxophone? Writing the music for the saxophone?
What happens is I do it, and then a couple of years goes by, and then I try and do it again. I have to completely remind myself like what key to transpose it to saxophones. So generally saxophones are either E flat or B flat. So if they read like a C natural, and they play the C and it sounds like an E flat. So you have to, if you want them to play a C, you have to write an E flat, if that makes sense. And the same thing with B flat. So once you know like what the interval is that you're changing, I wouldn't. It's not like difficult, but it's time consuming, and then you have to check you haven't made mistakes and stuff like that. But I did do a gig a few years ago, and I wrote saxophone parts, and had a tenor sax, a guy playing tenor sax, and it did work. It did work quite well. So I wanted to do it again on this new album. So I've got an album coming out on Monday, 21st of December. Just so everyone should go and download it.
Sweet.
All that, of course they will.
What's the name of the album?
The album, that's good. Right, I've forgotten it. It's going to be called "The Epic of Phoenicia."
Wow, okay, that sounds intriguing. As I hear that,
I like going for easy, catchy names. You know,
it's unusual.
You just trip off the tongue.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was planning on like this album that I'm releasing on Monday. I was planning on doing a lot more for saxophone with it because I think like in a way saxophone's been pigeonholed as a jazz instrument, but actually it's a really flexible wind instrument or brass instrument, whatever you want to call it, reed, I guess. It's a really flexible instrument, and I thought there's a lot more that could be done with it that's not necessarily like stereotypical, like, jazz saxophone or anything like that. But I've only actually, like on record, I have to admit, I've only used saxophone once, so I'm not pretending to be this like guy who's amazing at writing for saxophone, but
okay.
I think I want to come back to that and get saxophone players involved again and write layered parts maybe for a couple of saxophones. I think that would be nice thing to do.
I think you'll do that. I've also had a look on YouTube as well. Your band Tinker's Lane, is it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little look at them. They was all right. The song I liked was Open Road. Is it I'm all right with the long open road?
Until I find that road.
That's
the minute I was thinking, is it called Until I Find This Road? Or until I find that road. It's a bit embarrassing. I can't remember the name of the song. But yeah, it's a singer-songwriter called Ian Roberts. So, he's really good at doing like classic songwriting, so in, the descended from stuff like, I suppose, the Beatles and Bob Dylan, all that kind of thing. So he does, kind of like classic songs. And yeah, I'm the bass player in his backing band, Tinker's Lane. So yeah, I did a lot of gigs with them in 2019. Obviously, since the lockdown, it's that's kind of stopped really. So I don't know what will happen, but yeah. But I did an album with them, and that was released. It was early this year. I think it was released like February, March this year, and so I think I can't remember the name of the album. But if you look for tinkers-lane.co.uk. You'll find the Tinker's Lane website, and it's got all the links to where you can get the album. So like we made CDs of the album, so you can get it on CD if you want. You can stream it on all the platforms. You can play it on YouTube. So you don't have to like pay for it if you want to listen to. You can listen to it without paying for it if you want. I don't mind that.
Well, I'm eagerly anticipating the album that's coming out on Monday.
Yeah. So yeah, it's called. It's again. I've released it under the name Falena, and
it's just in time for the Christmas market as well.
Yeah, I think I'm anticipating like big sales, people buying it for Christmas presents for people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if Falena is spelt Falena, I'll just see if I've got an old card. Sorry to move away like that. So if I hold,
away.
This might have this. So this is like an old download card. There it is. That's good. So you got the spelling there. Falena. Yeah. So that was the first album, 10 Beautiful Songs. So this album's called The Epic of Phoenicia, and it's a full-blown concept album. It's got like one unifying concept. It was I found it difficult towards the end. Once I got to about 4 songs, I was struggling to stick with the concept, but I did manage it in the end, so I was quite pleased with that. It's not a particularly long album.
And how do you write songs? Do you come up with the words first, chords?
Normally, I'll come up with like a riff or like a melodic pattern, normally on either bass or guitar. So, like, you know, bass guitar is my main instrument. So, like when I play live, I'll play bass. But then I've played guitar a lot as well, especially in the past. Like I used to play, you know, that live a lot. And so I write stuff on guitar as well. So it might be a chord progression that sounds nice. It might be a riff that sounds nice. But it tends to be the music first. And because I'm mainly like a player, I'm mainly an instrumentalist, not, you know, I'm like a player songwriter rather than a singer songwriter, I guess. So I suppose that would be one way of putting it. So yeah, I'll come up with like a riff or a chord progression, then work out a nice vocal melody, and then like fit words to it.
That's cool. And whatever works for you as well works, right? Yeah. So we're gonna hear a little bit of your bass, are we? You've got it in your hand.
I can do, yeah. If you can see, so this is my bass. It was out of shot there, so I thought I'd just.
What make is that? Because it looks a bit strange upon the bottom there.
Yeah, if I move it up there,
the cutaway underneath.
Yeah, so it's a wooden Tronics bass, wood and Tronic.
Okay, wooden Tronic, yeah.
Yeah, so it's made in Italy, and yeah, they're really good. I've played like a few different basses in the past, like, you know, Fenders. I always play 5-string. Like I used to have a Fender Jazz 5-string, and like, you know, it's perfectly good. But like these like, to me, they actually sound way better. Like I know people probably, it's probably sacrilegious to say that, but yeah.
No, yeah, you play away.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. I just turn it up slightly. Just turn it up a little bit.
Yeah. So actually, if I'll play you a little bit. I'll see if I can get back a bit so you can actually see me playing. So
okay.
This is I'll play a little bit from the single that I did, the Brutus and Corinius one, and then maybe I'll explain a little bit about it. Can you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds nice echo to it as well.
Though Brutus felt uncertainty in visions from a dream, held on through the pain. The dream compelled him to the sea, to sail for 30 days. Sun and rain, sail past pillars of Hercules, there to find king of antiquity. Cast anchor in one, then came a shock. So I think I didn't know how much you wanted me to play for. So
that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
So I was trying. You can't really see me playing, but So what I'm doing with this song, this is like it's basically a chord progression, but I'm playing it as arpeggios. So I've got like.
I love that part. I love that bit there. It goes down. It goes down the scale. It's really nice.
Yeah, so it's quite a simple idea. So so the first chord is just an E minor chord, and then like I go into a chord inversion like of G major. So that they're not. It's quite like simple chords, but you just mess around with the voicing, like mess around with which notes in the bass and that sort of thing, and it can make it sound a little bit different, make it sound nice.
And where is the song available, like Chris?
You can download it from Bandcamp. So if you go to the Falena website, FALAENA, falena.co.uk, there's links. You can download it to Bandcamp, from Bandcamp, sorry, and then you can stream it, basically on any platform. So it'll be it's on Spotify, YouTube, whatever streaming platform, and you can download it from all the other places. I don't know, like Google Plays. That's still Apple Music, I guess. Amazon if you really have to if you have to use Amazon. But all the platforms like that it's on, and the album will be as well. So that'll be on Monday the 21st. The album. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the album because, like I say, that sound of that song was really nice, and the way you've done it and constructed it was quite well done. So,
yeah, and just to reassure people, I only sing on 2 tracks on the album. I'm not. I don't do all the singing. There's
no, that's cool. Don't worry about that.
A couple of female
We're not all
singers.
professed to be good singers,
Yeah, a couple of different female singers who are far better singers than me, and so yeah, I got some really good results with them in the studio.
Yeah, do you want to give a shout out to who plays on the album?
Yeah, so like the main guy on the album would be like the drummer and producer Stuart Moore. So he also did some of like the processing of effects and things like that. He's very clever with anything to do with electronics. He's he can build his own microphones and all that sort of thing, and program his own effects, makes an effects software and stuff like that. So he produced it, and he played drums and did a little bit of drum programming as well. So there's live drums on there, and little bits of drum programming. And then there's a singer called Willow, and she sings on 3 songs on the album, and she's very good. And another singer called Veronica. So yeah, the 2 of them, they both sang 2 or 3 songs each, and then I did a little bit else. And then there's an instrumental at the end as well, which is probably the best song.
Okay. Yeah, and the album is all your own work, all your own writing.
Yes, so I wrote the whole thing, played all the bass, played all the guitars, and yeah, I would have got some more people involved, but I did started doing it on my own, and then the lockdown, everything and whatever, so I finished it on my own.
Bit of a shame that. Anyway, Chris, well, thank you very much for your interview.
No, it's been a pleasure.
That's all right, and the best of luck with your album. And and the single that's out at the moment, it's getting well received, that single, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope people like it. Yeah, it's that's what it's for. I hope people enjoy listening to it. And although it's a concept album, the main thing, my starting point is always like the music. So it's like it's pleasurable to listen to. It should influence people in a nice way and kind of make them feel good. So I think if people listen to it, they'll enjoy it. And if you don't want to pay for it, you can hear it on YouTube. It's fine. Yeah.
Well, exactly, and that's what it's all about. Though, if you enjoy playing and other people enjoy you, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. Realistically, it'd be great if everyone downloaded it and I made more money. But people are used to just going to a website and listening to it. So it is what it is. I'm just glad people are listening to it whether they're streaming it or whether they're downloading it or whatever. It's all good.
Well, that's what the pre-ordering's for.
Yeah.
So there you go. Anyway, cheers, Chris, and the best of luck, and stay in touch.
Yep. Okay. Thanks for having me on.
And if I don't speak to you before, have a good Christmas.
Yeah. Have a Merry Christmas. Thanks, sir.
All right. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.